Hello, everybody. How's everyone doing? Holly, how are you? Chloe, how are you? Leona, what's up? And and Holly again. Good, how are you? I'm doing great, Holly. Thank you for asking. Doing fantastic. Who's buzzing for some more financial maths, guys? I know I am. Yeah, financial maths. Boom. You missed yesterday? No problem, E, because we're going to be doing very similar questions. Is financial math big on the paper? I assume you mean leaving cert. Yeah, financial math is definitely big on the leaving cert. They like a bit of financial math. Now we didn't get to every question I wanted to do yesterday, but we're gonna do some more of them, and we're hopefully gonna get the ones I didn't do if they would load. I might start with an easy question today. Oh wait, this is yeah. I'll start with the easier question today. So, sorry, no joke. I had a math test last week. And I got 12%. Can you help me? Absolutely, Chloe. No problem. Hopefully I will make that, make a dent in your grade, a positive dent, that is. I can't wait for my math results tomorrow. I'm so excited for you. I hope you're gonna come to the class tomorrow. If not, if you're out celebrating, that's fair too. How's your day been going? My day's been great, Blondet. How's your day been? I can definitely wait for tomorrow. You should enjoy it anyway. It'll be a fun day. You saw my goated pic on Insta, didn't you? Or isn't it goated? So goated. It's me. I'm the goat. Isn't that me? Guys, am I the goat? Am I the best to ever do it? Got 100% in your maths test? Hell yeah. Oh my God, it's Liam. Maths test on algebraic identities on Friday. What are algebraic identities? Honestly, they can keep the results. You know, if you don't open the results, they can't hurt you. You'll never know what you got in your junior cert then. It's been a quick year since the junior cert results last year. Oh yeah, sure. Some of you have done your junior cert previously. Man, my chair is broken. I keep sinking. All right. Financial maths. Financial maths is literally, it does get trickier. Disclaimer, it definitely gets trickier. Like, there's some parts of financial maths that involve like sequences and series and stuff. But, right now we're doing the good old stuff. What did I get in my maths junior cert? An A. But I don't know what that would be these days. I know y'all got your distinction and higher merits and whatnot. Whatever an A would be. You're scared for your junior cert. You shouldn't be. They don't like they're not that important. They determine what class you get into, I guess, for your leaving cert. But other than that, like, thanks, guys. I I I bet I would appreciate it when I was in my junior cert. My leaving cert. People keep asking me this. Um, 613. Even though like you people keep asking me this. And it's just like I'm not like, I'm not bragging or anything. It's just what I got, guys. How did you get in math? What did you get in math leaving cert? An A. How did you do so good in maths? Girl, I'm teaching you. I'd hope I'd be pretty good at maths if I'm teaching you a thing or two. Like, however, business and stuff, yeah, keep it. I don't want any of that. Maths, give it all to me. Okay. Layla, remind me in 9 days, because that'll be a huge day, and I can't wait to be there. All right. Let's get started. We all ready to go? What subjects did I do? Last question. What was maths my favorite subject? Absolutely. Maths and physics. But yeah, I did math, physics, chemistry, accounting, English, and French. Now, let's get on to some financial maths. I gave you this formula yesterday, and this is one of the most important formulas you will get in financial maths. We all know this formula. Everyone loves this formula. Oh, I used to be good at French, and then I haven't spoken in 4 years, so now I lost it all. But I was pretty good in my prime, but it's all gone. All right, what's F? Can someone remind me from yesterday? Final value. What's P? Present value. What's I? Rate as a decimal. Beautiful. Rate as a decimal. And what's T? Time. So this formula, it's called the compounding interest formula, but you can also use it for depreciation. What's the difference? Can someone remind me? I'll put a star here. It's a little fun fact. For depreciation, it's F equals P times 1 minus I to the power of T. So that's the only thing you have to remember. If it's depreciating, it's minus I. But if it's interest, compounding interest, it's plus I. Anyone want to tell me why? Anyone remember why? Losing value. Good. Depreciating means it's losing value. Whereas like gaining interest means it's increasing in value. Is that an I or a U? Huh? Where? Here? That looks like I'll just do it again. It's it. It's in the formula. It's an I. Sorry, yeah, that's an I. There you go. Improve my eye a bit. All right. So let's do an example. Um, so if we have 200,500 was invested at 4.25% per annum for 15 years, what is the final amount? Yes, Leona, but not exactly. This just, this was an easy one from yesterday, so that's why I'm doing it. But like, I'm just want the final amount. Will I give you a second to try this, or will I do it straight away? You try it? Yeah, let us do it. Cool. Good. Johnny's already given me the answer. I'll add on here. What? Sorry. Um, what interest was made? So the first part, what was the final amount? Well, you just use F. Well, actually, first of all, we need F. No, we need F, question mark. P, I, and T. Are we given P, I, and T? Let's look. 200,500 euro was invested. All right, that's P. So here we're going to have 200,500. Invested 4.25% per annum, that's I. So as a decimal, it'll be 0.0425. 15 years, that's going to be your time. So now we just fill in. So it's going to be F equals 200,500 times 1 plus 0.0425 to the power of 15. That means F equals euro 374,330.60. So that was the final amount of the investment. So imagine you went to the bank, you gave them 200,500. After 15 years, it is now worth 300,000, 374,000. So what interest was made? Remember, I said it yesterday. The interest, I'll call it capital I, is equal to the final amount minus the present value. So it's whatever you left with minus what you put in. So the difference between them is going to be, oh my God, it's going to be 173830.60. How do you know what to change the percentage to decimal? To do that, Ella, it's a good question actually. To get I as a decimal, it's going to be uh, I as a percent divided by 100. That's all you have to do to get I as a decimal. Could you explain what's in the brackets in the formula again, please? Yeah. So, Gavin, I have F equals P times 1 plus I to the power of T. F is the final amount, P is the present value, 1 plus I is like the interest it's accumulating, and T is the time. So when you plug into this formula, you're going to get the final amount of your investment after however many years at whatever interest rate. That makes sense? Hopefully. All right. Well, we move on to the next question. I didn't get to some questions yesterday, so hopefully I'm going to get to them today. What if I had um what if I had a sum of money was invested for 5 years at a yearly rate of 6%. At the end, it was worth 54,000. What was the initial sum of money? So that's the question. You go in and some amount of money was invested for 5 years at 6%, and the final value was 54,000. What was the initial sum of money? I'm confused how you found the interest made. Sorry, Sophia. For the interest made, think of it, Sophia. If I say I gave you a tenner, and in 3 years you gave me back 30 euro from the tenner I gave you. The interest I made was 20 because I gave you 10, but after 2 years you gave me back 30. So I made 20 euro. That's what the interest made was. It's like the profit you made, kind of. Does that make a bit more sense? That's why it's the final value minus the present value. The final value is like bigger than the present value. Does that make a bit more sense? Hopefully. Yes, good. Okay. Let's do this guy. First thing I'm going to write, again, our formula, F equals P times 1 plus I to the power of T. Now, let's look at what we have. A sum of money was invested for 5 years. Okay, T is going to be 5. At a yearly rate of 6%, I is going to be 6. At the end, it was worth 54,000. What's 54,000 so? Will someone tell me? F, good. F is going to be 54,000. And what do we need? P. We want the initial sum. So F is equal to P times 1 plus I to the power of T. If we rearrange, we can have P is equal to F divided by 1 plus I to the power of T. Does that make sense how I got that? Anyone confused by what I just did there? No? Okay. Some people are confused. All I did, look, I took this formula and I moved this guy over to the left. Notice this guy is multiplying the p. So to get rid of him, I had to divide both sides by 1 plus I to the power of t. And when I do that, I just slap him underneath. It's like if, imagine if I had 10x was equal to 20, and if I want to get rid of the 10, I would move him over. I would divide by the number in front of the x. So it'd be 20 divided by 10. That's basically what I did here. Is that clear? Does it make a bit more sense? So what I do here now, because blotted, we need P. We want P on its own. It's like imagine P was X. We want X on its own. So P is going to be 54,000 divided by 1 plus 0.06 to the power of 5. When you do that in your calculator, Gavin, what led you to ask that question? Oh, the answer is yes. The answer should be 40,351.94 yo-yos. Do you get me? What was the what was his question? I can't if I said asked it, if I answered his question, everyone would be asking me those kinds of questions. All right, that makes sense. Everyone understand what I just did there? I basically all I did was I rearranged because we needed P. So the present value was 40,351. That means when you went into the bank with that amount of money, you invested it. 5 years later, you would leave with 54,000. Okay? Kira, why are you confused? Kira, we're all friends here. Please, I would love to know why you're confused. In the formula, what is before I? One? That's just a one, Kira. Junior cert accounting coming in clutch. Why is there a T? That T is in the power, Kira. That's just the formula. Does that make sense, Kira? That's just what the formula is. It's on page, what was it, page 32? Something. I'll look again. It's on page 30 of the log tables, Kira. That equation. If you put P or F into the other side, wouldn't it be negative? No. You're because it wouldn't be negative, no. You should never have a negative money. You can't have negative money unless you're in debt. Your plus looks like a T. Oh, man, am I that washed? That's a plus. Sorry. Is that what was confusing you, Kira? That's a plus. Guys, why didn't you just tell me I'm awful at writing and I should go to school and learn how to write again? That's a plus. That's my fault. Sorry. You should have specified. In future, call me out and tell me I'm terrible. All right, let's move swiftly on. Okay. You're never washed. Thanks, Liam. Means a lot coming from you. So, an asset is valued at yo-yo 162,901.25. Hang on. After 5 years of depreciation, after 5 years of depreciation at 5% per year. It initially cost 200,000. How many? What? Oh my God, I'm so silly. I should not have told you the time, but that time is wrong anyway. And that's valued at 160,000. I should say the rate of I shall say the rate of depreciation, sorry if I could spell, the rate of depreciation is at 5% per year. It initially cost 200. Uh, how many years has it been depreciated? Sorry, I messed up that question royally. Sorry, my writing is awful. I'm sorry. It's the only critique I actually get. My writing is terrible, and I'm really sorry about it. But it takes a long time writing it. Yeah, okay. The answer isn't five. Fun fact. But yeah, this one is okay. Let's go through it once again. F is equal to P times one. What goes in here? One minus I. Good. Pooja is the only one on the ball. It's one minus I because we're talking with depreciation to the power of t. So let's fill in. What's this number here, guys? Real quick. What does depreciation mean? It means it loses value. Kira, an example of depreciation. Your phone, presumably, there's actually a high probability your phone is an iPhone 11 because that's the most probable iPhone you could have. Some of you here probably have an iPhone 11, but your iPhone 11 is not worth as much as it was when you bought it originally, let's say. Do you know when you buy an iPhone new, after a couple of years it's not worth as much? That's depreciation. It's losing value. Does that make sense? So in this case, this is going to be F. This is going to be the final value. 5% per year, that's going to be our interest rate. And initially cost 200,000, that's going to be P, the present value. So filling in, we're going to have 162,901.25 is equal to P, 200,000. 1 minus I, so it's going to be 1 minus 0.05 to the power of T. We don't know T. Now, everyone understand, we need to get t. So what am I going to do? I'm going to try to get t on its own. The first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to divide both sides by 200,000 to get rid of this guy. When I do that, I'm going to get 162,901.25 divided by 200,000, if I could write properly. 200,000 is equal to 1 minus, actually, I'll just simplify that. That's 0.95 to the power of t. Everyone understand that 1 minus 0.05 is just 0.95? Why not minus it? Because they're multiplying, Gavin. These guys here are multiplying. So to get rid of one, I have to divide. You can't minus. Yes. No. Yeah, it initially cost 200,000, Georgia. So if you think of it, P was 200,000. It initially cost the present value, like obviously not present now, but after 5 years, the final value of it was 162,901. Think of the P as more like like the initial value instead of present, as instead of like right now. So to do this, what do I have to do here? Leona, for a good reason, because this one is really tricky. Why are we dividing by 200,000? Because we want to. Actually, I'll ask everyone, what are we solving for here? Yeah, we're solving for t. So remember when we solve for x, we want to get x on its own. Same here, we want to get t on its own. So we're going to get t on its own. Now, t is in the power. Yeah? T is up here. We can't solve for t if he's up here. Wouldn't it be so nice if we could put t down here? Root it. Rooting it would not work because we don't know what t is. So this is where we're going to use this rule. Natural log of x to the power of a is just a number, whatever, is equal to x natural log, or sorry, a natural log of x. And this rule of logs basically allows us to bring the power to the front. So all I'm going to do now, I'm going to take the natural log of both sides. So I'm going to take natural log of 162,901.25 divided by 200,000 equals, sorry, natural log of 0.95 to the power of t. Yeah? Is that a 1 or an L? That's a ln, natural log. Maybe I should draw an L like that. Like, you get the gist. It's ln. I'll draw it again, just in case there's any confusion. That's ln. Not gonna lie, that confuses us. Yeah, but this is the way you're meant to solve it. Look, you don't even need to know a single thing about logs. You just need to know this rule. Why don't you why don't you simplify the fraction? Ah, you could, but I just haven't done it yet. So now, using our rule, we can bring that t to the front. So we're gonna have natural log of 162,901.25 divided by 200,000 is equal to t natural log of 0.95. Okay? Do you have to remember the log? You definitely have to know this rule. Remember I told you when we did logs for an hour, this is the most important rule. You need to know this rule. How do you put natural log into a calculator? It depends on the calculator. Mine, it's this guy here. Can you see him? There he is. Natural log. So, what do I do now? Anyone want to tell me the next step? Is it in the formula tables? Yeah, it is. Give up. No, you don't give up because we did the hard part. This is easy. What we do now is we need to get t on its own, don't we? We need to get t on its own. So we're going to bring the natural log 0.95 over. So that means t is going to be natural log of 162,901.25 divided by 200,000, all divided by the natural log of 0.95. And when you fill that into your calculator, you should get t equals 4 years. You know what page in the log tables? It is on page 21. Page 21 of the log tables. It is, where is it? It's in the middle. Third row in the middle. So yeah, I did this question yesterday, but I wanted to do it again, especially because people find it so confusing. The only confusing step here is the natural log. Other than that, it is not that bad. Can we all agree on that? That the natural log is the only difficult part? On page 21. Thank you for looking blonde. You're so polite. Thank you for thanking me. Uh, no, it's all hard. Kira, imagine if I had this. If I had 10 is equal to 20x to the power of t. Or not 20, not even 20x. What if I have 20 times 2 to the power of t? Does this look hard? This looks a bit easier now. Because this would just, you could do divide by 20, then you do natural log and bring it all over. It's just because we're working with financial numbers, it looks difficult. But it's the same steps we've always done. How did you get 4? You should have got 4 when you filled all this into your calculator. You subbed that in and you didn't get 4. Let me do it. Natural log of, make sure you have the fraction in the fraction, if that makes sense. 162,901.25 divided by 200,000 divided by the natural log of 0.95. Boom! 4. 4 years. Have we done logs? Not in detail, no. Do you always use that log to find the t always? Yeah, every time. Every time. You don't even need to know what log does. Just remember that rule and remember to fill it in. I did that and I got 0.85. You probably filled in wrong then, Liam. Sorry to break it to you. Not on the new Casio, no blonde, but you can look it up. Do you get me? Yeah, Kira, you got 4 as well. I'll come back to this question at the end if people are still confused. But we don't have a lot of time. Okay. I might skip to the ones we didn't do yesterday because I don't want to run out of time. Um, yeah. Oh, okay. We're gonna do some tax. Let me make sure these three. Yeah. Sorry. No, I did that one. Oh no, yeah, I did that one. That one was crazy. Um, did we do anything new? Yeah, we're about to. We're about to do some currency conversion. So, if €1 is worth oh my God, how do I draw the Great British Pound symbol? That's not bad. 0.87 Great British Pounds. What is £75 in euro? How many euro is £75? Does anyone know how to do this? Use ChatGPT. Don't use ChatGPT because he's going to get it wrong. Cross multiply? No, I wouldn't say cross multiply. Will I show you my method? I'll show you my method. So I'll write it up here actually. We want £75 in euro. So £75 in euro. Wouldn't it be so handy to know what £1 is worth in euro? Can we all agree with that? Told you £1 was €2, then £75, okay, that's just gonna be €150. We just double it. So what I'm gonna do first, I'm gonna get we want a £75. So I'm just gonna get £1 first. So who knows? How do I go from 0.87 to 1? You're gonna divide by 0.87. But what you do to the left, you have to do to the right. And what you do to the right, you have to do to the left. So we're going to divide 1 by 0.87. That means when we do that, 1 divided by 0.87, that is roughly 1.15. That's €1 15 cents. Now that's £1. Now it's easy. What do we need? We need £75. So what do we do to get to £75? We just multiply 1 by 75. Easy. So we're going to do the same to the left. We're going to multiply this guy by 75. When we do that, we get 86.21 euro. So that's your answer. Could you not just divide the €1 by the 0.87 pence? Yeah, that's what we did to get £1. But then we needed 75 of them pounds. So we multiplied by 75. I'm a few cents off. Is that okay? I'll leave you off, Murray. That's probably because you rounded, Murray, but it's not that deep. Just try not to round too much. You want to keep a lot of decimals just so you're more accurate. Is everyone okay with that? Anyone that one's that these are pretty handy. These are pretty nice. Can you not just divide 0.87 into 75 and then multiply it by 1 into 75 and then multiply by 1? Divide 0.875 into 75. I don't think, can you? 0.87. Oh yeah, that's what we're doing. Yeah, yeah. That's what we're doing basically. But I just wrote out the multiple steps. My teacher always just gave us the rate to use or something. But yeah, but that's how, like it would be easy if I said what was €10. It's like, oh, it's £8.7. But it's when they give it to you in the currency you don't have as one, that's when it's difficult. So it's always useful to get one value of the currency. We're doing currency exchange, Mila. This is a bit confusing. Just remember, we want to get, if we're working with pounds here, we're working with pounds. We need to get £1 to get £75. So always divide by the decimal to get rid of it, if that makes sense. That's all we did. I should actually wrote here divide. Anyone want me to explain any more bit of that? Yeah, I'll leave you off a few cents. Don't worry about it. Oh, okay. Actually, let me make sure this is the right answer. Okay, hang on. Okay, I still got it. Good. This one, what I'm about to do, if my chair would stop sinking. There we go. I look so tall now. This one is pretty difficult. Let's keep your eyes peeled for this. Sorry. Wait, so can we divide 75 by 0? Yeah, you get the same results. Yeah, if you want to do it that way. Can currency exchange get harder? Not really. That's as difficult as it gets, like. But then you might have to do that for a part of a question or whatever. It's typically a part of a question. It's not a main question itself. But this is tricky. So, what is the effective monthly, if I could write, monthly interest rate, which which is equal to 5% AER. AER just means annual equivalent rate, i.e., yearly. Have you seen this before? Have you seen this before? No. Okay, good. I'm going to explain this in thorough detail. So, 5% AER. 5% is applied yearly, okay? So imagine I invest a tenner. At the end of a year, at 5% interest, what's it worth? Can I write down what AER stands for? Of course. Annual equivalent rate. So if I invest a tenner and I get 5% back, I'm gonna get, yeah, 50 cent back. So that's gonna become 10.50 after 1 year. But sometimes interest isn't always yearly. Interest could be monthly. I could do 1 month. And then how much interest am I getting in a month? If I know what I'm getting in a year, it's 50, but I don't know how much I'm getting in a month. So this is the formula. I'm going to write it in red because it's not something that's in your log tables. It's something you have to learn. So the formula is 1 plus I, sorry, I'll write it bigger. 1 plus I y is equal to 1 plus I m to the power of 12. So IY is equal to the yearly rate and IM is equal to the monthly rate. Okay? That's the formula. So basically, what we're trying to find is the monthly rate that's equivalent to a yearly rate. So, like, imagine I put like what I just did. If I gave a tenner to the bank and I got 5% back after a year, I get 50 cents. But what would that be if I got monthly interest back from the bank? So maybe I got like 2 cents back, then another 2 cents, then maybe 3 cents. You know what I mean? The monthly rate is applied every month of the year. But we want to find the monthly rate that's the equivalent of 5% per year. No, you can't do that, Gavin. You have to use this. Sorry. Zoom out. Are the rates as a decimal this time again? Of course. Yeah. So that means if we were to fill in, we want the yearly rate, we have the yearly rate, we want the monthly rate. We have IY, I'll write it bigger. IY we have is 5%, which is equal to 0.05. So that means if we fill into our formula, we have 1 plus 0.05 is equal to 1 plus IM to the power of 12. Or 1.05 is equal to 1 plus I m to the power of 12. What am I going to do here to get rid of the 12? To get rid of the power? Not logs, because we know what the power is. It's not even that tricky. You could use logs, but there's a trickier way. Not divide. The 12 is in the power, remember? Remember, if I have like x squared equals 4, how do I get rid of that power? Square root. So technically here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the 12th root of 1.05. And that's 1 plus IM. Everyone understand that step? To get rid of the power, we're taking the 12th root. Remember, the 12th root of 1.05, that's the same as 1.05 to the power of 1 over 12 from our rules of indices. So you could use either one. And when you do that in your calculator, you should get 1.0, sorry, 1.00407. That's equal to 1 plus IM. So that means IM must be 0.00407, or IM is equal to 0. What? Move it over. 0.407%. So that's the monthly interest rate. That would be the equivalent of 5% per year. That makes sense? Hopefully. If that's new, it's okay. If it's tricky, it's because it is new. But, just remember, if you need the monthly rate, that's the formula. If you have the yearly rate. But you could also be given monthly rate and need the yearly rate. You just use this formula again. Okay, we're running out of time. I have one more question. I might have to fly through it. Is everyone happy to move on to the last question really quick? Is that an N or an M? Sorry, it's M. Monthly. Yes, go for it. Good. Thanks, guys. So, this one is an income tax question. So, everyone's probably going to love this. So, I'm going to say Mark makes 56,000 per year. Per year? 56,000 per year. Cut off, standard cut off rate for income tax is 30,000. Lower rate of tax. Good for Mark. Lower rate of tax is 21%, and higher rate is 42%. He has tax credits of 3,000. What is his net pay? Have you seen a question like this before? What car is Mark driving? Mark drives a BMW. Everyone, okay, we've seen this before. So the net pay, in case you didn't know, net pay is equal to gross pay minus tax. Because the tax man wants a piece of the pie. Poor Mark. So, 56,000. The cut-off rate for income tax is 30,000. So, that means of his 56,000, 30,000 is going to be taxed at a lower rate. And then what does that mean the higher rate will be taxed at? What's the remaining? 26,000. Sorry, people asked me to zoom out. So, the cutoff rate for income tax is 30,000. That means that 30,000 is going to be taxed at the lower rate. Everything above that is going to be taxed at the higher rate. So that's the 26,000 here. Now, what are we going to do? We're going to take 21% of this guy and we're going to get 42% of this guy. When we get 21% of 30,000, we should get 6,300. When we get 42% of the other guy, we're going to get 10,920. So that's how much tax he's paying, isn't it? I just got the percentage of each of those incomes. But what do I have to take into account? Anyone know? Credits. Yes. So when we add these guys together, we're going to get, I can't do that in my head because I'm silly. We're going to have 17,220. but we have to minus off 3,000. These are tax credits. And if you've never seen these before, tax credits is like the government being like, okay, you don't have to pay this much tax. It's like, this is how much tax you should pay, but we're going to be sound and you don't have to pay all of it. And you go, thanks, tax man. You're only taking 60% of what I make a year. How sound. Anyway, that's how much tax he's actually paying. What does that mean? How do we get his net pay? That means his net pay is equal to the 56,000 he worked so hard for minus the 14,220. And that's going to leave him with 41,780 yo-yos to do whatever his heart pleases. Mark probably lost sleep after doing this calculation. So, everyone happy with Mark's financial situation? Where did the percentages come from? They're in the question, Kira. Look. So, the standard cutoff rate is at 30,000. The lower rate is 21%, higher rate is 42%. That's what I did here. Lower rate on the 30,000, everything above 30,000, you tax at the higher rate. Which one is higher rate and which one is lower rate? The lower percentage is the lower rate, and you do that for the 30,000. Then the higher rate is 42%. That's everything over 30,000. Mark had to sell his BMW, unfortunately, because he could not afford the taxes. Absolutely, Leona. It's quarter past now. We're bang on time. We got all of our questions done. All right, yeah. So that was the last question for today. Thanks for coming, guys. Where did I get 10,920? 42% of 26,000. Hopefully that's right, and I didn't get it wrong. How did you split up the 56,000? Because Chloe, 30,000 is taxed at the lower rate. So I said, okay, 30,000 taxed at the lower rate over here. But then the rest of his income, that's taxed at the higher rate. So that's why I split them up. Can I take down the previous question? Absolutely, Abigail. Sorry. Here you go. Bye, guys. Thanks for coming. I'll see y'all tomorrow, hopefully. I'm Albert Einstein. Oh my God, it's Albert Einstein. What am I having for dinner? Maybe a glass of water and then sleep for 12 hours and then wake up tomorrow and do it all again. Because I love it. I love the game. You are so much better than my maths teacher. Chloe, thank you. I needed that. I'm getting my results. If you're getting your results tomorrow and you're not in the class tomorrow, that's all good. I give you all the pass because you're probably going to be having a good time. And if you're sad about your results, don't be because um, I didn't teach you for junior cert, so it's all good. Leaving cert, you're getting a H0, man. A one above a H1, a H0. How was college, Gavin? College is great. Thank you for asking. What did I do in college today? If I can remember. I did some dynamical systems and some network science. It was pretty fun. I don't even have a math teacher because they left. Okay, that's pretty rough, Killian. I believe in you though. Good luck everyone tomorrow with results. You will all do great. That's from Layla, guys. Yeah, I agree. You're all going to do fantastic. If you get A or a distinction, please let me know, and I will be very happy. I had no part to play in it, but I will take credit for it because I'm your maths teacher. Are you doing coding? I want to do coding in college. Is it difficult? Blonded, if I had to graph um time and difficulty difficulty coding, it's gonna look something like this. Okay? It's like at the start, it is gonna be crazy difficult. And then you do it for a while and you're like, oh, this is actually really interesting and fun and easy. So yeah, If you like coding, Blotnid, you might want to do maths in college, unbiased, because you don't want to do computer science. Unless you want to do computer science. I have no clue what I want to do, and I'm in fifth year. Kira, I didn't know what I wanted to do. I don't, Kira, I'm in my fourth year of college. I don't know what I want to do. I am in a bigger predicament than you. Haha. But no, just Kira, don't worry about it. You're in fifth year. You have so much time. I didn't choose math and physics until I did my leaving cert. I did my leaving cert, and I was like, okay, I hate chemistry. I'm gonna do math and physics. What college am I in? UCC. Is computer science hard? No. Well, man, I'm friends with people in computer science, and they they do not put in the work, put in the hours, and take what's theirs, as The Rock might say. But yeah, it is a nice course. But like would I recommend it? I don't know. Maths, would I recommend all day? I know it's probably a silly question, but for question three, how did you move the T? Sorry, Cheval. That is not a silly question. That's such an excellent question, Cheval. I'm so glad you asked that. You can't solve for T because it's in the power. He's up too high. You can't reach him. You need to bring him down. So that's how why we do this rule, this green rule here, that allows us to bring the T down to the front. And then from there, just fill in log into your calculator. Don't worry what he does. Just fill it in. Yeah, like Blonde, that is crazy because like that is a lot of responsibility. And it is probably really difficult, but it is fun as well. That's why I said do maths. If you do maths or even physics, you just do a bit of coding. You do a bit of fun coding. Nothing crazy. Thanks, guys. In college, do professors ask college students questions while teaching a lecture? Yeah, and it's the worst thing ever. And I'm literally there like, no. Sometimes I do know the answer, but a lot of times I do not know the answer. And that's okay. What sports do I do? I just go to the gym. I just train. I'm not naturally good at maths. Is it possible to get good maths this late? Absolutely. Brother, there's no such thing as naturally good at maths. What a load of bumba clart. Just lock in. Like really, if you really work at it, my buddy failed his maths pre or his maths mock, depending on the school you go to, and he got a H3 in his leaving cert. All because he locked in. Best day ever, huh? Is college better than school? Man, college is the greatest thing ever. If you like secondary school, wait till you get to college. He had you for grinds. Man, I did help him a lot, and he thanked me dearly when he got his result. And I was like, thank you. This is great. I love the game, man. That's one thing about me. If I ever like vanish and evaporate, just remember one thing, I love the game. And that's it. All right, I'm gonna go to sleep. I'm tired. How do you study math? Practice. That's my number one thing. Practice. Do questions. I'm gonna go to bed. Good night, everyone. Sweet dreams. I'll see y'all tomorrow. I hope you had an amazing day. Goodbye and good luck with your results tomorrow.